Presently, Pakistan Education and Research Network as a backbone of Go Ahead, the Higher Education Commission, to upgrade the Pakistan Education and Research Network. Pakistan Education and Research Network has continuously improved over the years in terms of research network, along with equipping the universities' institutes with the latest technological reforms. Pakistan Research Network has provided Wi-Fi blanket coverage to 51 universities, enabled with a loan 36,000 saved government money. Recently, Pakistan Education, that is today serving as an association between students and access to education and research resources. This collaboration has yielded fruitful results in performance, access to e-culture, high-energy physics, software-defined networks, telemedicine. Their physics in Pakistan have been actively involved in the search for Higgs boson. Thanks to TEIN connectivity, NCP become a partner of CERN in the HEC project, and it is the only worldwide computing grid WLCG known in Pakistan. Pakistan Education and Research Network collaborations with Giant helped us to become member of Educating and deployed its own Identity Federation PKIFED, Center of Excellence and Pakistan Education and Research in Korea. For cyber performance of the Asi Connect project in Pakistan to strengthen linkages with international.
Madam Akram, Vice Chancellor, at least two. First is that Madam Akram was asked at the last minute since that she took the time off and has been able to join us today. Madam, thank you. Professional and then moved into more of a diplomatic area. I haven't moved quite in the diplomatic area, but I did serve the United Nations for some time. In Bangkok for the Southeast Asian region, and then also served in Cambodia and Laos. And I set up the Stockholm Environment Institute in universities and researchers working on the Mekong region and looking at water-related issues in particular. And I think the work that we did with communities has a certain resonance. So I almost feel like we were long-lost friends. We got to know each other very, very recently. But Ambassador Cautain, thank you very much for your service. We're very grateful to you for the services you have performed, and wish you the best of luck in your days ahead, and hope that we will continue to remain in touch and that we will be partners even in your subsequent endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, you've already seen the video about the Pakistan education. It's the Pakistan Education and Research Network, not Pakistan Education and Research Network. You've already seen that video. It is one of the national research and educational networks which is connected to the trans-Eurasia information network. And it's a part of an international global enterprise of bringing people together. And this is a reflection of how much things have changed. As I was thinking about today, I thought that if a time traveler I am told that there are, we have other partners, Dr. Francis Lee, the Vice Chairman of the Singapore Network, and Ms. Helga Slitain, the Gyan Community Manager UK, who have joined us through video. Welcome, and thank you very much for joining us today. To return to what I was saying, I was thinking that if a time traveler from 30 years ago were to appear in our world today, there are a number of words and phrases that he or she would not even recognize. There are several words that have emerged in the last 30 years which simply did not exist beforehand. Globalization. If you go back in the literature, before 1997, you hardly find any references to globalization. And before 1992, no references at all. This word does not exist in the literature. Suddenly this word appears, and today we can't live without this word. Globalization, information society, internet, email. From 1989, you go back, none of these things existed. Nobody knew what they meant. And now we can't live without them. Of course, iPhone, Twitter, SMS, all of these things have emerged in the last 30 years. Globalization is one such word. We now live in a globally connected world, which means a number of things. It does mean that we have opportunities that our ancestors, and including us from an older generation, could not even dream about at that time. But also means that we live in a world which has become competitive in a globalized manner. When we work with our universities, they have to train their children to compete in a world which is now open. And it is this which requires not only an improvement in quality, but it requires us to take advantage of the connectivity. And this is something that HEC has known from the very beginning. We have, from 2002, we have decided to invest significantly in the connectivity. Initially, our investment consisted mainly of sending our people to do PhDs abroad. We even started PhD programs over here. We are now looking at how to improve the quality of those programs. We started sending PhDs abroad. That program has kept up. We are sending record numbers of students to go and study abroad. But that is not enough. What is necessary now is almost a 24-hour connectivity. We do know that this connectivity exists in the social media, that people are on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, and they are connected to other people. But the educational and research connectivity was initially a little bit slow to take off. Even going back about 5 years ago, when you went to the universities, internet connectivity was somewhat intermittent and slow. In Pakistan, much of the investment really had been in mobile internet, which means people on their cell phones or through Evo, etc., had much better connectivity. The fixed line connectivity was rather slow. But the PERN, the Pakistan Education Research Network, did change all of that. Today, when you go to universities, you find blanket coverage, very high degrees of connectivity. That the basic spine that we have placed has very high bandwidth, and we are continuing to expand that. As you heard, next January it's going to be lifted up to 40 gigabytes per second. And the last mile connectivity also continues to be expanded to about 10 gigabytes per second. So this kind of an infrastructure connectivity has been quite significant. We are also now very fortunate in being very strongly connected with the Asia-Europe connectivity through the TEIN as part of the Asia Connect program. This, as you know, connects 24 countries in the Asia-Pacific region with European counterparts. But it's also through this that we are connected with other regional networks in the Middle East, in North America, even in Asia-Pacific itself. So it provides us with across-the-board connectivity to researchers around the world. So it's a very significant investment, and it does provide the platform on which we can build our research and educational environment. What has been, again, a little bit slower in taking off is the software side. The hardware side, I think we have done quite significantly. We have built the fiber optic networks, etc. But building on this to make the software connection so that people actually begin to use it more effectively, I think it is still work in progress, and we are looking forward to our universities to take that up. HEC has invested quite significantly, but I think we need to ramp that up now. Plus, we are now working with some universities to build up this program. Before I leave the subject, I should say that HEC has also invested in a number of other ways in trying to expand that connectivity. One is, of course, our subscription to the digital libraries. So we now provide major subscriptions to all the scientific
research databases, which means people can connect to journal articles and can download journal articles at literally very highly subsidized rates, and for them in particular, oftentimes no marginal cost. We have also subscribed to Coursera for people to be able to take online, and Coursera and edX for people to be able to take online courses. Again, the impact of these has not been as significant as could have been the case, in part because our financial model was, I think, a little bit weak. So we are now working on the financial model to make sure that it provides the right incentive not only to be able to use the material, but to use the material effectively, which means that there will have to be some part of the cost which the user will have to bear just to make sure that they value it and are able to use it effectively. Those are also programs that we are continuing, but we are continuing with a slightly modified financial model. We've also invested in research collaboration, and in this regard, the Asia Connect call for proposals is very important, even though the deadline is very close. The deadline is only next week, 15th of July, for Asia Connect proposals. These are proposals which aim to support, in principle, collaborative research activities. And the platform itself provides the foundation on which these proposals can be based. Our Vice Chancellors are sitting here. I know that the time is rather limited, but I would encourage them to start pushing their own colleagues in order to be able to add more proposals to it, so that any proposals that succeeds will be an additional set of resources, both human resources and financial resources for Pakistan. I think this is a very important opportunity and we need to build upon it. Two additional things I would like to add over here is that as part of our own endeavor, we are expanding our investment in two additional dimensions. One is that under a World Bank project, which was recently approved by the World Bank Board, $400 million for the higher education sector, we are now expanding our connectivity to colleges. So we are bringing about 200 colleges into the fold of the TEIN network, but also into the fold of other resources that our information technology-based services have. So this is going to be an additional important development in this domain, which means that we are not only now serving the universities, but also our colleges, and that network is going to expand over time. This not only helps us provide resources to the college, which means provide them access to different resources. It also helps us to introduce additional technologies, including smart classrooms, which those colleges can use to supplement their more limited human resources, which means they can now offer courses which are being taught elsewhere as part of their curricular offering. So this is another expansion of our infrastructure network, and this can probably help as we move forward. The second component of this, which I want to draw your attention to, is the research component that is funded by the World Bank project. Under this research component, a significant part of the World Bank resources will be spent on creating opportunities for applied research, problem solving. And we have two agenda items there. Number one, which is the National Challenge Research Fund, looking at the major challenges confronting the country and making sure that we have the solutions, that our academic system is able to provide the solutions. And again, through our Vice Chancellors, what I would like to suggest is to look for proposals, including those which can involve our partners from other countries. So if we are looking at solutions for our energy crisis, for the water crisis, for the food security issues, for disaster management, for crime and terrorism, for any of those solutions, we should think about forming research networks and research collaborations that can help the country solve the problem. So that's a new important funding opportunity, and I think we can combine the two opportunities, the international collaboration and the resources that will be provided for the funding. The second component of that is that we are also setting up a local research fund, the purpose of which is to look at local challenges, the challenges within a district. So if a university is located in a particular district, we would like to encourage that university to address the problems in that district, regardless of whether they pertain to water supply or sanitation or health, or even to economic uplift or economic growth. All of those things, we want the universities to focus on it. And this also provides us with an opportunity for collaboration. If somebody in Thailand has been working on problems within their Tambon, within their district, there should be an opportunity for collaboration between researchers here and researchers there. So I would like to encourage us to think about the collaboration to addressing national problems as well as local problems, and trying to bring in the collaborative networks as much as possible. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say that this is a very exciting stage. We are launching this Asia Connect program in Pakistan. We look forward to the proposals and programs that may come from it, but we already have the connectivity, which is the platform which, upon which most of these proposals will be built. So with those words, thank you very much, and I look forward to further collaboration.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insight.
Federal Education, Wajiha Akram, Director Pan, Abdullah Paj Shatta, and all staff of Pan for organizing this event. I also give my gratitude to HEC Ambassador Jean-Francois Cautain and all participants here who have traveled from a near or long distance for this meeting. The Asia Connect, the success of the team for officially launched at the end of year 2016 with great support from the European Commission and the Asia Connect partner. For Asia Connect, the success of all Asia Connect partners as well as the EC. In Asia Connect, we are focusing on application and research activities using the TEIN. Also, we are promoting more programs for helping bridging digital divide, such as capacity building training workshops. Through these programs and activities, we can move forward to the higher goals of co-prosperity of the Asia and Europe. In Asia, there are increasing demands on network capacity, which comes from globally widened collaboration and research activities. TEIN is also working hard to upgrade the TEIN network to respond to these demands. The global RNA network trend is entering the 100 gigabps era. We will also continue to make efforts to improve TEIN network across the Asian region into 100 gigabps based environment by enhancing the existing infrastructure of the network and obtaining new circuits. Pakistan has been playing a key role within TEIN community. PERN is directly connected to TEIN Singapore PUB with a dedicated speed of 1 gigabps, and the bandwidth is planning to be upgraded within this year. I'm well aware that this high-speed link has been facilitating global collaboration for the NCP. As one of the PRON's esteemed members, NCP has developed international cooperation on the high-energy physics, especially with the CER and Sun in Europe. This ongoing partnership enabled Pakistan to become the associate member of Sun and set up 2 nodes, COMSAT, Islamabad, and the NCP added to the Alice grid infrastructure. I believe all the outcomes are thanks to the uninterrupted RNA link service collaborations. collaboratively featured by Hwan and TEIN. Also, I am acknowledging that Hwan is actively participating in and supporting other fields such as telemedicine, cyber performance, grid, computing, security, and internet for underserved rural areas. These activities have and will continue to improve the quality of life of Pakistanis, and also contribute to bridging the digital divide, which Asia Connect pursue to achieve. On behalf of TEIN community, I ask all Hwan community to enhance global collaboration, working with the neighboring countries, so that Hwan and the TEIN network and their applications can be benefit to more people in this region. I believe that if we encourage each other and work together for Asia Connect project, our future toward Asia and Europe co-prosperity would be much brighter. Most of all, Hwan community has a great power and potentials that can dedicate to the regional development in Asia. I ask all participants to share Asia Connect vision and to support the project. Once again, thanks you all for participating the launch event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. The next distinguished.
I practice more than 100 times. Your, Shukriya, and friends. It is my great honor to be here. And my name is Patch Lee, and I work for TEIN-CC, and under the leadership of Mr. Chung. He gave a speech a minute ago, and I prepared my speech. But before, we watched the Hwan video advertisement, and Higher Education Commissioner Dr. Tariq Banuri's comment, including the submission deadline for the fourth corporate proposals. Oops. I think I'm done here. I don't have much to say. I prepared this more than 20 pages of slides for many days, and even writing several pages of these scripts, because I'm not native English speaker, So, by the way, there are some points, I think so, at least left for me to give you, maybe useful information, except those already previously described and explained and advertised. Okay, without any further ado, let me get started. Okay, here is a table of contents. First part is mostly on the side of the overview of the Asia Connect project. Second one, I will go into details on the process and its status we carry out, with which Hwan and all the other partners are directly involved and keenly interested in. It's referred to call for proposals process. I'm sorry about this. I'm so, touched, seeing all you people, so. Okay. Next page. Here I try to show you Asia Connect in one page. Your left side, we call TEIN networks. It's internet infrastructure. It's like highways, expressways, dedicated networks. It's built to connect researchers and educators inside Asia and between Asia and Europe, and furthermore globally. Right side, utilizing this infrastructure is Asi Connect partners. Currently, as already mentioned, 24 countries, economies. They try to collaborate on the topics which applications and services could benefit the RNA community and the general public. Asi Connect aims partly to contribute to the UN's SDG goals, which is betterment of society.
Years, not only the network with the largest geographical footprint has been established, providing access to a high-speed internet in the partner countries, within the region and internationally, but also a very strong community has been forged. And the inspiration for that is the mission to be a collaboration enabler for students, academics, scientists, and researchers. But it is not just about connectivity. It's the value-added services on top of the connectivity which make our NREN offering so special. Just think of EdRoam. You have seen the video earlier on. This dedicated roaming Wi-Fi service. No need to worry about security, authentication, tracking down passports. You just flip your laptop or your phone open and EdRoam simply pops up with your login details from back home and you're ready to go. And it's really wonderful to see that PERN offers this service to its many students and researchers. So nearly, from the video I gathered, nearly 40,000 EduRoam users. This is also based on the underlying Interfederation EduGain service, which makes this seamless authentication process possible. So when I try to explain at home what I do for a living, I usually take inspiration from the caretaker at NASA, who replied when he was asked, "What do you do?" And he said, "I help bring a man to the moon." And I think we as NREN community, we should proudly say, we are helping advance scientific research and make education more accessible. And by supporting and enabling applications such as telemedicine, remote learning via MOOCs, and reliable video conferencing, as well as disaster prediction, agricultural, collaborative research, and the many other applications that also my colleague Patch earlier on referred to, we also have a huge societal impact, so we do make a difference. But we still need to continue making the case for NRENs. One of the strongest arguments, in my opinion, is that when an NREN runs the connectivity services for all knowledge institutions in a country, those institutions actually will benefit from being part of a learning and sharing community. I don't necessarily like to use the word club, but in its best sense, this is what an NREN brings to IT support services in universities. They become members of a global club of experts who are more than willing to share their own expertise. And it's also a club of services like EduRoam, gateways, and so on. So in a nutshell, we can say the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And you need the whole package: connectivity, services, best practice, knowledge sharing. You need a community. And in closing, I would like to congratulate PERN on celebrating their belonging to this Asi Connect and to the global R&D networking community today at this launch event. To me, a launch event like this, it's a great opportunity to raise awareness and to encourage your own users or your prospective users to utilize the network and the services, to join this learning and sharing community, and as we heard earlier on, to more actively participate in the project, in the Asi Connect project, by participating in call for proposals. At the same time, it's also a great moment for you to showcase your impact to your funders and the general public and remind them why we NRENs and why you PERN have a reason to exist. So again, congratulations to our colleagues at PERN and also TEIN for making this happen. And let's now be louder and prouder about what we do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I would now request Dr. Francis Lee to share his views briefly about the collaborative opportunities present within the Asia Connect project.
Very good morning to everyone. Good morning to our guests of honor, VIP guests, and everyone in this hall. It's a great event. It takes PERN and the Higher Education Commission to another level. I'm really surprised at how things have progressed since the early days when PERN joined TEIN. A little bit about myself. I'm Francis Lee, and I'm a founder of SINGARAN, Singapore Advanced Research and Education Network.
General Asghar Saab is here. I meet him in most of the ministry's meetings, and I always learn a lot from him. Thank you, sir. And our honorable members, vice chancellors, deans, a very warm welcome. It's a very good day to all of you. And I will start by expressing how immensely honored I feel in the presence of such brilliant minds and great academicians. The national research and educational networks have become an important strategic institutions that are now developing linkages with like-minded peers to resolve the problems of common men. NRENs are helping in equipping people with latest technologies and removing barriers to create new future by sharing ideas and building platforms for collaborating education and research. The government of Pakistan is committed to improve the ICT infrastructure as well as increasing the international human and physical linkages so that more opportunities are discovered. We believe that the expansions in research and education will increase the knowledge circle of the community that will enable them to serve the community by resolving their everyday problems through latest technologies. The expansion in R&E will also enable our students to connect to the developed world and have exchange of resources and ideas with them, further improving their abilities. Many Pakistani institutes have made considerable use and contribution in research and education at CER in Switzerland and have healthy education exchange with students from Asia Pacific. We need to collaborate in the research and education sector that will help in improving socio-economic conditions of our people and society. We now have very strong foreign policy in this government, which are strengthening our relationships with foreign countries, establishing ICT linkages and providing services through these linkages can help the countries to strengthen their relationships and can work together towards the betterment of the society. There is a lot of research taking place in field of agriculture, medicine, culture, climate change, disaster management, etc. And Pakistan at the moment needs strong practical research to overcome the challenges that the country is currently facing. For this, the collaborative research and experience of other countries under the umbrella of NRENs is vital. I'm very pleased to know that Pakistan is that part of Asia Connect project, and through that it is supporting UN Sustainable Development Goals by providing improved access to education and research resources. Some of the major issues and areas that need to be explored and collaborated by the Asia Pacific community are agriculture, disaster mitigation, culture, big data, IPv6, medicine, and security. And I'm happy to see that these areas are well explored through TEIN programs. This trans-Eurasian collaboration with exchange knowledge, ideas, and educational services across continents and further strengthen understanding and cooperation among communities. I'm sure that these collaborative projects will produce lifelong and fruitful results for Asia Pacific as well as other regions of the globe and serve the humanity. I'm very happy to see PERN and its global linkages with TEIN Asia Pacific, GANT Europe, and Internet 2 USA, and hope that Higher Education Commission and Pakistan Education and Research Network will keep playing their roles in providing societal benefits and increased collaborative development. Learning from these successes, it is time that we move other regional organizations like SARC to promote further regional linkages. And I'm thankful to TEIN President and his colleagues for joining us in the launch ceremony at Pakistan, and Ambassador of European Union for joining this launch event. And thank you very much. This was straight from the ministry. And I would also like to express what I am taking along home from this event, from this launch event. Despite all the financial constraints Pakistan is going through these days, जिसमें कि HEC का एक जो कट है बजट के ऊपर वो भी शामिल है, उसके अलावा भी बहुत उसके बावजूद coming to this event has shown me that we Pakistanis are a resilient nation, and we will, inshallah, bounce back to glory. And all these financial constraints and all these hindrances will not hinder the progress of Pakistan. I'm very thankful to Dr. Tariq Banuri, which I already said that he is setting new standards of excellence to follow for all of us. हम सब इनको देखकर सीखते हैं और आगे बढ़ने का एक हमें हौसला पैदा होता है जितनी पॉजिटिविटी के साथ, डिस्पाइट ऑल द कंस्ट्रेंट्स, कभी शिकायत नहीं इन्होंने की, सिर्फ ये कहा है कि जो भी मुश्किल है, जो भी जैसे भी हालात हैं, उनसे बाहर कैसे निकलना है और आगे कैसे बढ़ना है. पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद. बहुत शुक्रिया.
We will, inshallah, bounce back to glory. Thank you.
Akram, Parliamentary Secretary of Education and Professional Training. Obviously, Dr. Tariq Banuri, Chairman of HEC. General Mohammad Asghar, Executive Director of HEC. Mr. Chung, President of TEIN Cooperation Center, would also like presentation of the program, of the project. Would like also to thank the two speakers we had from abroad. Actually, it's good that you are not here, if I may say that, because by not coming, you are contributing in not, damaging more the climate change. And I think it's a positive aspect of digital connectivity is also, that we can have you on screen, we can discuss with you without being having here. Obviously, what we are going to miss is the hospitality of Pakistan and the good food in Pakistan, but that may be for another time. I would like to put maybe this program into a broader perspective for the European Union. We are talking about connectivity. In 2016, the European Union launched a global strategy for the EU foreign policy on security, meaning in more normal words, what the EU is striving for behind its border, what we want to do with our partners, how do we see that. And we have set up 5 priorities for that. Security and defense, building state and societal resilience, and Madam Parliamentary Secretary, you were referring about the resilience of Pakistan, and it's also, I think, why we are cooperating with Pakistan, why we are working with you to support, Pakistan in its resilience. An integrated approach to conflict and crisis, strengthening cooperation, cooperative regional orders, talking about that is part of the DNA of the European Union is regional integration. And it's not a secret for you to say that maybe in the region, regional integration is still something which has room for improvement, clearly. And we are also striving in this global strategy on a rule-based global governance. If I'm mentioning that is in this document of 2016, we have also a specific reference to Asia, obviously, and we are referring to how to connect to Asia. And we want to have a much more coherent approach to connectivity, especially with the Asian region. So after 2016, the European Union services started to work on mapping out what does it mean exactly, to connect Europe and Asia. And we have been looking at the different aspects of connectivity between our two regions. And obviously that can touch on trade, transport, finance, security, development, culture. And here I think we can also mention, in the frame of this seminar, digital connectivity, education and research on climate change, but I will come back to that. So we have been we have been working on this connectivity between Asia and Europe after 2016, and we have decided also to see how, in practice, what does it mean, you know, to try to connect states, organizations, institutions, structure at international level, regional level for Asia, and also bilateral level. And we have come up, when it comes to our connectivity, the European Union connectivity, we have come up with a set of principles. Because I think it's important for the EU, we feel that it's important that connectivity for the sake of connectivity without any borders, if I can put it like that, it's important, but you have also to respect a couple of principles. So we have set up our principles when it comes to connectivity. It includes, for example, observance of labor and social and environmental standards, sustainability, transparency, market principles, open procurement rules, and level playing field and equal treatment for all stakeholders and equal access. I think it's important when you are talking about connectivity, whatever connectivity it is about, to get back to these basic principles, because then everybody will be on the same page. And by doing that, we hope that we will enhance our governance between the EU and Asia connectivity. There will be better availability and sustainable finances for Asia. We hope to strengthen again state resilience across Euro and Asia landscape. We hope also to see a strengthened regional order. And also an important element for that is, and I think it fits well here, is how also to increase people-to-people activities. So all these elements I just mentioned are captured into a document which is called Connecting Europe and Asia, and it was launched in my headquarters in Brussels in September 2018, and it was also presented here in Pakistan in December 18 as well, in the framework of the yearly conference of SDPI, where we had a specific session on Asia-Europe connectivity. So today's launch obviously fits very well into this global strategy, this strategy on connecting Europe and Asia, because it's what we are talking about. We are talking about digital connectivity. I mean, as it was mentioned before by the experts on TEIN, the story started in 2002 between Asia and Europe. And I'm very pleased to have listened to you and to see how it has developed over the years. I mean, now we are in the fourth phase of it, which is very, very positive. It's clear that a project like that should help in bridging the digital divide within Asia, but also between Europe and Asia. I was especially very pleased to hear that one of the selected projects in Pakistan under the call for proposal 3 was actually a project in Balochistan for education. I mean, as European Union, Balochistan is one of our 2 target provinces, and we are very much involved in education in Balochistan. And obviously, I'm going to set the obvious, it's a very, very difficult challenge for Pakistan and for the government of Balochistan to tackle education in the province. You know better than me, the largest province of Pakistan, 44% or 44% of the territory of Pakistan, 23,000 settlements in the province. So how to reach all this population, how to reach all the kids with quality education. Madam Parliamentary, I'm sure that you are aware of that. It's one of the biggest challenges also for the province of Balochistan. So how this project can help, I will be very happy. It won't be for me, unfortunately, but for my colleagues, who will, my successor to look at that. But how this project will be linked also with what the government of Balochistan is doing in terms of education to serve the underserved schools in Balochistan. So I'm very happy to hear that today. There was a point of on awareness. I think it's important. I think you made it. I think it's important to raise awareness about this program, this TEIN program, and this fourth calls for proposals. So the deadline is 15th of July, meaning in a week time. If I can say something more like a joke on a lighter note, actually 1 week in Pakistan, meaning a lot of time. So you are not late, you can still submit your concept note for the 15th of July. So I think I would encourage all the Vice Chancellor academics who are here to do so today. That will be very good. I was referring to climate change, and actually it was not really a joke. I do strongly feel that a project like TEIN has also a tremendous impact on climate change, a positive impact for once. Because by connecting people, by giving them platforms and tools where they can communicate as they would be in the same room, where you have experts in medicine who can communicate with other experts in medicine on exchange on different issues. You don't need always physically nowadays to meet, but then the connectivity will be there. The people to people contacts will be there. You can still cooperate, but not travel. And that also will have an impact on one of the greatest challenges I think we are all facing now, which is climate change. So I will end here. I would like to congratulate again HEC for having organizing that. I would like to personally, Mr. Chairman, to thank you for all the work you are doing here in Pakistan when it comes to higher education. We have 2 flagships that I hope also, I know that you are already working on that you will continue to work, which is Erasmus Plus scholarship program, but also academic exchange program. Pakistan have a good news, by the way. Pakistan this year is ranking the 3rd country worldwide in terms of number of students who will go to Europe under Erasmus program, which is a very good news. You can, yes, you can. And the other program I would like to mention, because that is also important and can be linked to a certain extent also with what we are talking with TEIN, it's Horizon 2020 and the successor, which will be Horizon Europe, which is a research program. And I think Pakistan should do more about it, because I think you have a great potential there, and I think you are not, there is an untapped potential, I think, for Pakistan under this program. On a more personal note, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for your kind words. Yes, I did spend in 3 stays 11 years in Pakistan, in your country. I will be living with, as usual, a kind of mixed feeling. 11 years is rather long. And I've enjoyed every minute of my stay in Pakistan. Demanding time to time, challenging also time to time, but always so interesting, so rewarding. And I would like to wish to all of you, actually, to all the Pakistani citizens in this room, I hope that your country will continue to become more and more prosperous for everybody, peaceful as well. Peaceful inside, peaceful with the neighbors as well. It's really my wish. Thank you very much. Shukriya.
Thank you so much, sir. An investment in knowledge pays best interest. I would now like to President TEIN CC, Mr. Yong, Hwan, Chung. Parliamentary Secretary for Federal Education and Professional Training, Ms. Wajiha Akram. I would now like to request all the